basketball degenerates, to another episode of the Pass First, Shoot Later podcast brought to you by the UFC Basketball League. I'm your host, Zico Pepe. Here's my co-host, Michael Van Wyck and Omar Almadine. And of course, we have a very, very special guest, the one, the only, the legendary David Bagga.
First two-time guest.
Hey everyone, how about that ride in? That's why they call it Vegas.
Are we looking at each other? Or you
this is officially the casting couch. Just so you guys know, David Bagga.
We can't do that on this podcast.
David Bagga
sign up for this, bro.
Bagga dubbed it the second he walked in. Did he not, Bagga?
No. I did. I like long walks on the beach as well.
Bagga over here looking like the porn star from Top Gun. Come on, bro.
You know what? The vibe was going. I had to call it out.
You know why they call me Hangman, Omar?
You know what? And there's a reason I sat on the couch by myself over here.
Because I always leave my defender hanging in the corner. And then I hit a three.
So
we're actually going to talk basketball tonight, for at least a little bit. If we get to it, we're going to talk basketball tonight. You know, that's the point of the podcast.
Since Bagga's been here for the last 20 minutes, we've talked about everything but basketball.
Everything but basketball, you know.
That's not true. That's not true. You talked about Arizona for a little bit. Going to a UCLA game.
Okay, you know what? We talked for two minutes. We talked about
we don't want to pay for our own flights. How the Southwest flights are a scam. You know, Papa John's is $4.99 unlimited pizzas until like next Tuesday. Speaking of which, if you guys want a medium, I'll get. Anyway.
No, when it comes to pizza, we
only do Massimo's, bro.
It's
only
what? Sponsor.
Massimo's Pizza.
What? Really? No change?
We were gonna get Massimo's Pizza tonight, but Omar
turned it down.
I turned down pizza.
Why?
I'm fat. What do you think? I don't want to encourage
you got us kale chips.
Dude, no, I'm okay on the kale chips.
So you know what? I'm trying to do good, bro. I'm fat, so I'm trying to stay away from.
You're doing good, Omar.
You're good for like 13 boards a game.
I think 2 slices of pizza wouldn't have killed you.
It wouldn't have hurt me, but you know, Zico didn't make it fucking dreadful to get pizza. He made it act like we're the ones asking when he offered, right?
I mean, I offered you guys if you want pizza, and you argued about it for like 10 minutes.
No, he's like, okay, Omar, you can have pizza. Like, bro, I said no pizza. You're the one that offered.
You asked me if I could get you anything healthy. I offered a salad, and you said that's even worse.
Well, we all know pizza's from salads from a pizza spot are not healthy.
Well,
Let's just address it.
They make a healthy one for me when I order it.
Huh?
They make a healthy one for me when I order it.
Okay, but you know, I'm good. No pizza.
You're
This
doing
spread
the right
of
thing.
snacks has been great. I don't know what these little cookie things are,
Those are good, right?
but I ate them all already.
Yeah,
and
those are really
chocolate-covered
good.
rice
I got
cakes.
plenty more, so if I need to make a
Zico
quick
went to the
run
shop,
to the kitchen,
to the
I
store
can.
for us, bro. You know, he's a great host. So you know,
I tried.
thank you for hosting us.
You don't work.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, we're not on our own
I
computer.
mean, if I wasn't here, I'd be watching. Literally, I'd be binge watching Sex and the City right now.
You got to address the audience.
And just like that, I was here.
Of course, we're addressing the audience, but at the same time,
Yeah, we
all
gotta look at each other, but we definitely gotta look at the cameras too, you know, so make
I'm
sure we
only
do
looking
that.
at cameras.
Bagga, nobody knows where you're looking. You got the poker face on with the glasses, nobody knows where
I
you're
can
looking.
see him in the
Well, it's like I told Omar and you know, Big Mike over here, and PG Zico, PG GM owner Zico, Commissioner Zico. It's like I said, the reason for the glasses tonight, I mean, it's, you know, it's like I told my friends, I told, you know, my more mature girl, it's a lovable face, but a hittable face sometimes. So sometimes you gotta cover it up. You know?
So you're saying you got a black eye?
Huh?
What you're saying is you got a black eye?
No, there's no black eye. I'm just saying, when the package is this pretty, nobody cares what's inside. Like, you know, you gotta make sure to protect the package, right? No. All right. Let's talk some hoops, Zico Buggers. What do you got?
We're talking hoops right now, and you know, it's the off season. The only thing going hoops wise technically is Team USA.
Wait, he could be a deciding factor here. Who is the face of the Olympic team this year for the United States?
Face of the Olympic team is still LeBron.
Okay.
Yeah, Kevin Durant is and I follow Kevin Durant on LinkedIn. Hey, Kev. Kevin Durant is the greatest USA basketball player of all time.
Whoa. Wait, hold on.
Whoa.
Comparing it to Melo?
Yes.
Olympic Melo was something else though.
Yeah, but Olympic KD is the all-time leading scorer, all-time leading rebounder, more signature shoes, more signature wins, more signature threes, and when it's all said and done, they could have a 4th gold medal. And there was even a rumor saying that he might play in 2028. If he gets 5 gold medals, that's, I mean...
Okay.
I'm not going to argue with you too much about that, but what I do want to bring up is KD not starting on this team? Because it's kind of bugging me. I'm wondering if there's a little bit of angst from Steve Kerr bringing him off the bench. To me, KD is the best offensive player on this team. I think we talked about earlier where I said I don't think LeBron's going to lead the team statistically. I think you're going to see Steph and KD going off.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Not scoring wise.
Not scoring wise.
No, but that's not statistically. That's just scoring.
And then the assist in FIBA in Europe Olympics, that extra assist, that hockey assisting, that's
not a hockey assist. That's not a hockey assist. You pass the guy. If you get an assist, if I pass you the ball and you get fouled and make your free throws, I get an assist.
No, it's beautiful.
It should be.
It's beautiful.
It's an assist because without that
pass, it's not the assist that we're accustomed to.
It doesn't matter. Everyone else has the same opportunity.
Stat line in the NBA.
Everyone else has the same opportunity.
Well, getting back to Zico's illustrious point, which he so illustriously brought up into the show. Thank you, Zico. Beautiful mentioning, by the way. I think Steve Kerr is starting KD because of his leg injury, and he wants to probably he doesn't want to.
So you think it's a leg injury, not just get back for leaving Golden State?
I think it's a little. I don't think nobody's that much of. There's not too many petty whites, anymore. But I'm saying, I don't think he's that petty.
I think he is. I think they denied Andrew Wiggins from playing in the Olympics.
It's true.
Yeah, but
because he was on Team Canada, which is the team that beat them last time. I think there is a lot of petty in this. I think there's quite a bit of petty. Why is Jaylen Brown not on this team? Why is Kyrie Irving not on this team?
That's Nike. That's
a Nike thing.
That's what I'm saying. There's a
We're
lot
not
of
going to get into the whole Nike conversation.
There's a lot of pettiness in this.
Covered it briefly.
We covered it, but Bagga loves Nike and Jordan, so he went to a Nike school. So let's cut him some slack before he loses, his endorsements.
I heard a certain friend of mine, we'll just call him Skip, when he says every Monday that I cannot lose in these shoes. 6 for 6. No, I'll say this. I look at it like the Avengers. It's like, all right, you got Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Spider-Man. Imagine bringing in Black Panther off the bench to help you seal the deal, right? To help you secure the Infinity Stones. KD's another nuclear weapon that you can bring in off the bench.
Well, they also had Anthony Edwards off the bench.
And they got Anthony Edwards too, so it's kind of like a pick your poison. I think with USA basketball, there should be no feelings involved, which is, hey, let's win. Because the world is catching up, which they also said in the Avengers too. So, see how it correlates both ways?
So you think the world is catching up to USA basketball?
I do, yeah.
It's a very sensitive subject among some of us in here,
No, if you look at the top 5 players in the NBA,
I said they were.
You got Jokic, Luka, Giannis, SGA. I'm missing somebody. Embiid. I'm a little 50-50 on Embiid just because I think he asked for his MVP. But
Embiid is on Team USA right now, so he doesn't count.
He should be on France or Cameroon.
Well, Wemby?
Yeah, Wemby's going to be one of the faces of the league.
You can tell right now he's the face of that French team with all the vets they have on there. That speaks volume for his ability and his future as an NBA superstar, I would say.
Outside of probably Steph or KD or LeBron, and maybe Anthony Edwards, the top 5 players are all European and foreign. So I think it's great.
That's essentially what I said. They're getting hung up on. I said top to bottom, the 12 guys on the roster for the U.S. team are more talented than any other team.
You're the king of spinning.
That's what I said.
You said skilled.
Okay.
You said
skilled.
skilled.
I don't care. I'll stand behind skill. Top to bottom.
Talent and skill are two different
1 through 12. If you compare them to any other Olympic basketball team, are they more skilled on paper?
You're talking about the U.S. team?
U.S.
I think they're the most talented team, but probably the most skilled team is probably going to be Serbia or Canada.
Top to bottom?
Thank you.
Thank you, Bagga.
No, you're comparing the number 12 guy to the number 12 guy.
Yeah, but
talent and skill are different.
Yeah, the talent and skill are so dude, the U.S. team could face Thanos right now. They'd be okay.
But
they can do both.
They're more talented, more athletic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Longer pause.
They're more skilled.
Because you got KD at 7 feet tall coming off the bench as a 2-guard. I said pause.
We got Jason Tatum coming off the bench and started 6'9",
6'10", exactly. But to say skilled, that was our argument, Mike.
And I'm still standing behind skilled. If you give me the 12th person on the Serbian team, he is not as skilled as Derek White.
Yeah, he is.
He's just not as good as Derek White.
Yeah,
there's a difference between being skilled and being good or great.
Where's your line on skill?
All right, I'll use Zico's league as an example, may I?
Of course.
So
You're here.
I'll say this: my skill is shooting, right?
Okay.
Is running myself into the corner, coming off double pin downs, coming off whatever. To me personally, the most talented player in your league, I would say, is probably Justin Johnson.
We all agree on that.
Yeah.
Would you say talented, or would you consider Justin also skilled?
I think he's both, but I think he's
a
more,
combination.
I think to me, he's got a healthy mix of both. But if I had to lean with him, I'd say his talent can get him out of trouble. It's to me like that. That's just like I feel like I'm a very skilled shooter, but I am not a very
But
talented.
you're picking up one part of shooting.
Right.
Who's more skilled than Justin?
I mean,
So you're saying the same thing I'm saying?
yeah, there's guys that do different things, but I think that to me, like all the European players, all the foreign players, like those are some of the most skilled players in the country. They're not as talented as Team USA.
I agree. As in the whole midst of a country, there's more fundamentals in other countries, but the U.S.
Skill.
Olympic 12-man roster is more skilled, top to bottom, than any other Olympic roster.
And that's where we keep arguing about, because we haven't even identified the parameters of skill.
Skill means they can do every single thing you need, every single skill you have in basketball, every single skill that's used.
And what are those
they can
skills?
do
Because
it.
they're all these European teams. If you're on the national team, you can do all the basic stuff in
So
basketball.
you're telling me that nobody on the U.S. men's Olympic team can do all the stuff?
I'm
No,
asking
we're
you
not.
because
That's
you
not what we're
haven't
talking
said
about.
that.
So this is a little different. This is where me and Omar are coming from. Since Omar and I are pretty deep in AAU basketball, we have seen over the last 20 years what AAU basketball has done to kids, and not all kids. We're talking about the elite players who actually make it to the NBA. If you watch AAU basketball and the way people are training them, they allow the best players on the team to essentially do whatever they want. They don't have to focus on
You're talking about
the elite
athleticism.
skills training. They don't have to focus on all the defensive
I agree.
skills they need
Blake
to focus
Griffin
on.
is not a skilled
Right.
player.
So yes, they take the
Kevin
talented
Love
players
is.
and they allow their talent to take over.
Okay,
And the
that's a
reality
great
is in
example.
Europe,
Let's go back to his
I know.
example
Hold on a
later.
second. In Europe, it's not like that. In Europe, they don't care who you are. I've seen players who are more talented than anyone, get kicked off teams, like lower end teams, because they're knuckleheads. They don't want to deal with it, or they refuse to focus on those skills. Europe is completely different. There are so many talented players that are still playing in FIBA basketball, but could never make 3-on-3 basketball, but couldn't make the teams, the national teams. Why? Because they lack the skills. They
And look at
focus
Team
so much on
USA.
skills.
They lost in 3-on-3.
Dude, look at Luka and
the
Wemby.
skills
Why were
team.
Luka and Wemby in Europe? And like, if you look at
Luka's
they were
not
drafted.
playing in the
When
Olympics.
they were drafted, like you hear their stats like, oh, he averaged 6 points and 3 rebounds over there, and we're listening to that. Like,
He was also
he's not doing
15
anything.
years old.
Right, but he's not doing anything. Why are they picking him over the college guy who just averaged 30 points a game in college? Well, because in Europe, the way they do a system
Because
is
in
not
college you're
based off
playing
the
against
stats.
other kids your age, in Europe you're playing against adults.
It's not, no, you can still be playing against 18Us in Europe.
Well,
and
it
it's still
depends.
going to be that
But
way.
when you bring up the example of Luka and Wemby, those
They're
guys
playing
were playing
adults.
first. They were playing first division in their countries.
Right, right.
One of them was playing EuroLeague. The other one, playing first division France. They're playing against a grown man.
That's very different.
Practicing with them consistently.
And practicing with them consistently. But for many people that don't understand European basketball, you have to understand some of the greatest European players of all time barely average 12, 13, 15 points. Not like the NBA where you have 25-point scores, 30-point scores. The game is different. The game is played differently. And,
They get assists on free throws.
sure, we're going to get hung up on that. Leave the hanging low for a bag over here. But
That's what she said.
But at the end of the day, Mike, you use the term skill, and you're trying to put a blanket on everything and every team.
Every aspect of basketball.
But the thing is nobody's disagreeing with you with that Team USA has the depth that other teams don't have because of the type of players that we have in America, especially on Team USA. Yes, they're talented, they're more athletic, but you can't deny the fact that at the end of the day, the European teams, those guys play fundamentally better, and that's why team
Fundamental and skill
100%.
isn't necessarily the same thing either, though.
Well, fundamental plays into skill more than talent does.
Somewhat.
Because if you're not fundamentally sound and if you don't have IQ, the skill don't matter.
But if you're not skilled, you can't be talented.
It's not true.
That's not true. What? So if you're not skilled,
somebody who's
you're telling
somebody
somebody
who's
can't be talented
a 7-foot rim
and not
runner.
be skilled?
No.
I'm Jalen Brown is talented but can't be skilled. And
Yeah,
he
he
can't
has
even-
no left hand.
He has no left hand.
Oh, and okay, I to an extent, guys. I'm not saying all or none, but Jalen Brown isn't on the team right now, right?
But that's for another reason.
Okay.
I don't think it has to do with his talent or his
If he
skill.
was on the team, maybe I would say something differently about
Also,
the
then
skill
you
level.
say 1 through
But I'm
11.
saying right now, 1 through 12, all the guys that are on this team are skilled basketball players that can cover every facet of playing basketball. The only one that I would honestly scale back would be on the defensive end, and that'd be Steph Curry. Otherwise, all the rest of them do everything you need on a basketball
So
court.
you think playing defense is a skill?
Absolutely.
Not an effort.
I think effort and hard work is a skill. I don't think that's just that's.
I agree with Mike to a certain extent. I think defense, there is a lot of skill required to it. You do need the effort, but if you don't understand the angles and cutting people
It's also-
off and
But that's
stuff
something-
Knowing
like
when the
that,
ball's
that's a
coming up
skill.
off of a dribble, knowing when you can jump and land.
I don't necessarily put that as a skill. It has to do with understanding the game and your IQ.
But that's a skill.
But that's yes, a skill you can learn. But I'm not putting defense as a skill.
All skills you can learn.
But I'm not putting defense as a skill.
Okay, so we're disagreeing there too.
Okay, so then again, let's go back to the question I asked. What's the parameter? What's
I just
skill?
told you, anything you need to play basketball is a skill.
So you're saying Team America's flawless with it?
No, I'm not saying they're flawless.
So every player checks off every list on your skill.
I think they're all. I'm not saying they're all the perfect, but I'm saying top to bottom, 1 through 12, they're more skilled than the next team. I'm not saying they're the. I'm not saying they're the
If you're not
12
saying
most
top to
skilled
bottom
people in the
skill,
world.
then that makes them probably even when you start comparing skills and contributions to their team and respective teams. So if somebody's skilled at shooting on one team and the other guy's not skilled at shooting on the other team, but one guy's a better defender than the other one, so that's two skills that wipe each other out.
No, I'm just saying if Bagga gave himself as an example. He said he's a skilled shooter.
That runs right to the corner.
If you watch him, he's not dribbling, he's not crossing people over. Not that he can't, but he just doesn't do that at
No,
a high
I
skill.
can't.
So he can't.
I can't.
So what I'm saying is, as far as skill, Zico probably has more basketball skills than David.
That's true.
But Bagga's gonna. But that doesn't mean that I would
However,
rather have Zico
Bagga is
than
more
Bagga.
talented than I am.
Yes, I completely agree. So what are we saying here?
So
I'm saying that
that's the part where we're getting
Is that
confused.
the title of
and
the
what I'm
episode?
saying- and what I'm
which
saying-
host is more skilled? or
no,
something?
definitely not. But what I'm saying
I'm
now
definitely most skilled. I
is,
just the least talented.
but what I'm saying
I
is
don't know.
that doesn't make
Yeah.
David more skilled just because he's better. Everybody on Team USA can shoot. Every one of them. Every one of them can dribble. Every one of them can pass. They can all do every basketball skill.
So
You won't have any of those 12 guys sitting here on a couch saying, "No, I can't cross over."
Mike, here's an analogy I've used in the past. Here's an analogy I've used in the past in terms of comparing skill versus talent. Okay, where I'm going to take 4 players, very particular players. I'm going to take Shaq. I'm going to take Kareem. I'm going to take Tim Duncan. I'm going to take Hakeem Olajuwon.
Okay.
All of them have a different talent. Kareem is extremely long, he was agile, he's athletic, he could run the floor, he had an insanely long wingspan. Shaq was massive, nobody could guard him, most powerful player we've ever seen. Tim Duncan is a little shorter than both of them, however, his
But Tim
defensive
Duncan
skill...
is Mr. Fundamental,
Right.
the most skilled out of all of them.
Well, and then there's Hakeem,
He's
who was
gonna
the
say Hakeem.
smallest out of all of them. Who was
Hakeem
the
is second.
Hakeem was the smallest out of all of them. The smallest. He was 6'9". He was smallest out of all of them. However, his skill level was so good that he was able to dominate, right? All of them dominated at some point. If you took all 4 of those guys and made them the exact same size, exact same height, weight, whatever it is, who's the most skilled out of them? Take the talent away.
I'd probably say Hakeem or Tim Duncan. I would say
Okay, so
Tim Duncan, or 1A, 1B.
Ironically,
But
the
it-
both
but
of
it's a
them,
clo- it's a
ironically,
close
the
one,
both
too,
of them
between
are
Tim-
foreigner players.
Okay.
Like if you look at that, like this is that foreign aspect of how they teach.
See, here's what you're missing.
It's the same thing I'm trying to tell you. Like that's how they teach over there. But why is it that Jokic right now is the most skilled player?
At 100%, he's the most skilled player in the Olympics.
He's a skilled.
But there's 11 other people on his team.
He's the most skilled.
And he makes
I'm not
everybody
disagreeing,
around
guys.
better.
Mike, you don't understand what I'm
You
saying.
guys are so
you tell
focused
Mike,
on one thing.
best player.
I am
Mike,
not saying.
no, that's-
I am not saying that the
that's-
12 U.S. players are better
No,
than
neither are
Jokic
we.
or more
Neither are
skilled
we, but
than
you're not,
Jokic.
you're not understanding what I'm saying. Jokic went through the exact same regimen as the 12th guy on this team, whereas the LeBron and what LeBron did
Guys,
and Derek White
practices
are
are
doing
practices
the
are
same
practice.
thing. No, they're
Everyone
not.
practices the
They're
same.
not. No, they
thing.
don't.
So-
they
so-
don't.
so- so
that's what.
let's
That's where we have an issue. We don't.
There's no secret practice out there or secret exercise that somebody's doing that another person is not.
Not true.
It has
It's
to
not
do
true.
with the program you're in,
Yeah.
and the development. And I'll tell you right now.
And no two people are doing the same thing?
This is the last thing we're going to talk about this whole skill, because I just got done working in Division I high school camp, and boy, can I tell you, it was atrocious. You know what I'm saying? The level of talent today, these high school kids from all levels.
You're switching to talent now?
Well, I'm talking about the talent, the skill, everything across the board was horrible.
Okay.
But let's move past it. We're not going to spend the whole episode. Let's just agree to disagree. Let's go back to the first initial question: is who's the face of this Team USA this year? Bagga's response was LeBron.
Yeah, I
Now,
agree.
my question to you, Bagga, is it LeBron from a marketing standpoint and just more of the market, more of the, the image that comes with it, or from an actual basketball standpoint?
That's a good question. I would say actually both. I mean, I think that.
I agree.
I mean, 'cause I don't see him. I don't know. I mean, what does he have? 2 or 3 years left to play, probably, right? And I don't see him winning a title anytime soon because I mean, I think if he wanted to, was serious about winning a title, he would have taken a pay cut. He would have signed other guys.
A bigger pay cut.
Son, right?
Yeah, not play with his son. Yeah, his son would be playing with us. But so no, sorry, Brian, no disrespect. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, like LeBron is still the most polarizing. At his age, I mean, he's 30. He's only going to be 40 in 4 months.
Well, we'll wait for the HGH to come out later. But
Hey, listen. I mean, I'll say this. I mean, yeah, from a playing standpoint and a marketing standpoint, he is still the guy. I think Steph is right underneath him, and then I think right underneath him is like LeBron is 1, Steph is 1A, and then Anthony Edwards is 1B.
you forgot about KD.
I don't think Kevin Durant's a leader.
No, KD. I think.
it has anything to do with it.
Yeah, I think KD just wants to hoop.
And I don't disagree with you. KD has never been a leader on his teams, and that's why he has that asterisk or that dark cloud that follows him.
Right.
We're not going to. I don't think anybody can disagree here on that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Because
I'm not
Russ
mad
was
at
that- we know Russ was that leader.
Yeah.
On OKC, you had Steph on Golden State. He
We
went to
all
Brooklyn.
agree.
You had Kyrie.
Well, I'm not mad at the move he made in Golden State because it's like anybody making a move at their job for more money,
Well,
for more
not just
potential.
that. For people that think outside of basketball, he wanted to get closer to Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
He had his venture capital.
Started boardroom.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
so it was more of a business decision for him.
100%.
Basketball, and it came with a couple championships.
And some finals MVPs.
And so, you know what I'm saying? So it was a win-win for him.
Yeah.
Across, and see, the problem is as the average fan, just a common fan, we treat these players like they're robots. We treat these players like they're not human beings that are not trying to look at their life beyond the court because we idolize them and we put them on this pedestal. But at the end of the day, these are human beings who are also looking at life beyond just basketball. And he found an opportunity that he could capitalize on the court and outside the court, and he took advantage of it. Sure, does it come with backlash? Yes. Do we think we can consider some of it being, weak or whatever you want to call it? Sure. But at the end of the day, we go back to the whole Team USA right now that we're talking about, is if you take LeBron off that team, the way the team's assembled with the 1 through 11 you're talking about, will they give you the same result?
I don't think so.
I don't think it'll be the same result.
It'd be very narrowly. We'd be on pins and needles every game.
I think it depends on who you're replacing with.
Yeah.
Like that's what my whole thing. Like you always have to look at like player over replacement. Like who's the guy you're filling in? Because the reality is the team doesn't have an actual pass first point guard. And I think that if they were to put a point guard in there, someone who's looking to get everyone else involved, it would make up for it. I just feel like that LeBron is important to the team for the passing aspect because I think all those guys are just looking to score. I don't think any of those guys, aside from like, which I love the AD Bam combo, that defensive combo is the only guys I've seen that are also unselfish. They're focused on their role and that's it, and they've excelled at it. Everyone else is looking to get, and Derek White probably. Yeah. Derek White.
AD and Bam have actually been the most like.
That's been the most fun. That's been the most fun group
to watch.
I'd rather watch them than anyone on the group, to be honest with you. AD better be recruiting him to become
the leader on this team this season. I mean, I don't think there's anyone. I don't think you can look at that. I know you're really.
No, I'm not really doing trying. I'm not trying anything, bro. I don't have to try.
I don't think LeBron's the face of the team. Like,
I think from a marketing standpoint, yes.
I think I've said, and in terms of like face, is I don't think the rest of the world fears LeBron. I just don't. Like
they don't have the same respect.
They don't have the same respect.
Even NBA players don't have the same respect.
They literally just voted it.
Okay, voting them.
Mike, I know, but like
that's voting, but that's what you guys always go to.
This guy
people
said.
fear Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, people fear Kobe.
Yeah, God rest his soul, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
People fear Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, people don't fear LeBron.
I disagree.
Yeah, I think Kevin Garnett said it best. Like, Jordan had that aura around him. LeBron is like your bigger brother.
LeBron wants to be best friends with everybody.
Yeah.
1,000 handshakes.
LeBron's definitely someone fun to play with.
And
I'm not disagreeing.
Pose with them in like the clutch events, like
I'm not disagreeing with that.
And the thing is, and I'm not knocking LeBron for the lane and the atmosphere that he created for his era of the NBA. But do I think that he screwed a lot of it up for us old competitive old folks?
Yeah.
Yes. Because right now, to this day, Mike, you and I have played on the same team and against each other. Bagga the same way, Zico the same way. We're great friends, and that's why we're in this room right now. But as soon as we get on opposite teams, me and you are running Zico off a pick, and you're going to put his ass in the bleachers.
Which has happened.
Which has happened.
Which was a meniscus tear, unfortunately.
I did not tear any meniscus on you.
So at the end of the day, once because we're old school, our competitive is different.
I got a black eye from Omar once too.
So once we step in, step within the, those four lines. LeBron, guys, step on the court. He wants to be best friends with everybody. Sure, he wants to win. Don't get me wrong, but it's just a different approach to winning.
I think
I
think across the board that's true. I don't think there's anybody aside from maybe Westbrook that plays that style of I'm not your friend anymore.
Anthony Edwards is bringing back that.
Maybe Giannis too.
Giannis.
Jokic.
I like that's something
I don't think. I don't know about Jokic. Jokic gets mad at times, but I don't think it's that same level like it was.
I agree.
Yeah, but Jokic is passionate about.
But I would say I can agree with Giannis.
I think Jokic would play with Doncic if he got half a chance.
I think Anthony Edwards could get there.
Why?
If him and if Doncic, if Luka and Jokic played on the same team,
cancel each other out.
Well, not just that. No, forget about. We're not going to get into that.
Who adjusts to who?
No, actually, I'm telling you right now,
Luka would adjust to Joker.
He would have to, right?
It would be.
No,
that's the reason they would play together is because now they will play a type of style of offense that they have to find.
They're just going to play European basketball. It's going to be pick and roll. They're going to milk it both ways. Jokic is going to have Doncic sending screens for him.
They'll both average a triple double.
Yeah, they're both going to just dominate. It would be beautiful.
I don't know. There's only one ball though, man. That's tough.
The thing is, but we're also playing in the NBA 48 minutes of stop clock too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know because
if they use the FIBA rule, then definitely they'll both average a triple double.
What's that?
I think that's a
what's that website called? StatMuse. If you look at
how many assists I would have had when we played together, we had that rule.
I don't get free throws, so not many more.
But this is why I don't think it would work because I'm sure they're great, so they figure out a way to make it work at some point. But I mean, if you look at how much each of them needs the ball in their hands, that would be the only thing, because that's why Harden and Westbrook didn't work both times.
Right, but you also have to think about it, it takes pressure off of each other too.
But you're also taking a guy that can't shoot.
Yeah.
To a guy that can shoot.
Westbrook.
You would think Luka would turn into a spot-up shooter?
No, it's not a spot-up shooter, but the thing is
no, I think they
when you have a guy like Westbrook, who we all know has struggled to shoot the ball, you know, you become limited when the ball's not in your hand.
That's true.
It's not going to turn into a spot-up shooter. I'm not saying that's going to be his role, but then he becomes a threat.
If they average triple doubles, it would be lower end triple doubles.
Absolutely.
Like 12 and 12 or something. Or like,
they would both score that.
There's no 17 assists.
Yeah, they each have like 11.
Yeah.
They each have 11.
I
Yeah.
think their assists would probably go up.
9.8.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I mean by averaging triple double.
Yeah.
Life would be easier
Their points
for
would come down. I think their assists would go
Yeah,
up.
that's find a way to make it
I think
work.
they'd be around 12, 13, 14 assists. But their points
Life would be easier.
I
for
think
both of them.
I think it'd be more like 10 to 12.
But that's
10 or 11.
And I'm considering a 9.
I agree.
I'm considering a 9.8 as a 9.8 is still a triple double just for the sake of the conversation.
Yeah, 100%.
Zico's had enough. He's leaving.
Zico's done with us here.
Our
But
first live podcast in his house. He's out.
At the end of the day, again, Zico asked a very valid question, or made a valid statement: is who do you replace LeBron with to keep the same production on that team? Yes, we live in an NBA where it's very, ball dominant, you know what I'm saying, scoring first, not a lot. This team would ideally want to have a Jason Kidd.
Right.
And
LeBron's filling that Jason Kidd role right now.
If he was healthy,
Obviously, he's scoring more, he's rebounding
Chris
more.
Paul,
Yeah,
Chris
Chris
Paul
Paul
maybe.
too.
I don't know if Chris Paul's physical enough.
Or even Harden if he was in shape and healthy.
Harden definitely
Harden,
not.
I would say.
But Harden would. Like just watching him in the playoffs closely the last 6-7 years, like I think the spotlight would be too much for him.
I think the bigger thing that LeBron has done, which hopefully Zico will agree with this, but I don't know, is in these Olympics, he's actually set a good tone on defense. He's playing harder on defense than he has in the NBA when he's taking days off or taking plays off. Yeah, plays off.
Yeah, because
Because he has
he's got Derek White and Bam and AD right behind him.
But still, nonetheless, even with those guys coming in, he's still setting that tone. He's being that Kobe Bryant from the Redeem team.
Until you run through somebody's
So
chest,
no, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Oh, he'll run
Draymond
through Dylan
Green
Brooks'
somebody, but what I'm
chest
saying
if he
is,
gets the opportunity.
he's coming in. He's being that leader. He's being that older guy on the team that's showing them this is the tone, this is the setting we have to play with, this is the energy we have.
But he
to
just
play with.
leads differently though.
Well,
Like it's a weird it's almost kind of like a it's almost I don't want to say like a look at me type of leadership, right? Is that fair to say? I mean,
That's fair to say.
It's just a different type of leadership, man. Like,
It is different.
and
And
I got nothing against it, but yeah.
Like we grew up in an old school era where our leadership was guys like Jordan, like Kobe, like Bird. Magic was the one different one. Like he's like LeBron. Like everyone loves him. He gets along with everyone, kind of thing.
But he could turn it on. Man.
But he could turn it on.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So it is definitely different. I prefer. Look, man. Danny Cabbage, nicest guy off the court. He was an ass of a teammate. No one yelled at me more than anyone did than he did. But he got the best out of me when I was playing with him. I got along well with the a-holes, that were on the court.
Shout out to DC, man. One of the
Shout
best
out to him.
mid-range games in Orange County. Probably in
Absolutely.
SoCal. One of the
Absolutely,
best.
man.
Oof, the elbow. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's yeah.
So yeah, like it really depends on, I guess, what you respond to. And personally, that's what I respond to. Like sometimes, LeBron, honestly, he looks really fun to play with, but he kind of beats someone that bugs the crap out of him.
I said Zico likes to be told what to do. I'm trying to say it.
I mean, I'll say this. I think you got to obviously appreciate LeBron's greatness while it's here. But yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
I'm not a LeBron hater. Mike, for some reason, thinks I'm a LeBron hater. I'm not. I think Omar is a legit LeBron
I
hater.
think Omar is really
He's
sliding
You've said
into
it.
that, but
You've
guys,
actually said
before
it. You've literally said it.
The
You've
most
literally said that you
important
are.
said I was a LeBron hater?
No.
You've said on the podcast you hate LeBron.
I never said I hate LeBron.
I don't know if he said word for word he hate LeBron, but everybody
You
like
said you
and
can't stand
subscribe.
it.
LeBron fan.
Okay.
Zico,
I actually don't hate him. Go ahead, Mike.
single this audio out, like and subscribe.
Hold on.
Everyone has to like and
Yeah.
subscribe.
Don't forget to like and
Look
subscribe.
at the camera and let them know.
Yeah. Tell everybody.
Find it on LinkedIn too. It's on there streaming.
But hold on.
One day a week.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe on LinkedIn. Follow it.
It's two different things.
Right. I don't.
And
I'm the same way.
in LeBron's prime, right?
Do you like LeBron James?
I'm just not a fan. I don't hate the man, and I'm not knocking what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? It's just not my cup of tea, right? But even in LeBron's prime, I would take LeBron for 46 minutes out of the 48. In the last 2 minutes, I did not want LeBron on the floor.
Dude, Larry Bird said it the best. Like, if I want to have fun, I want to play with LeBron. If I want to win, I'm playing with Jordan or Kobe. Why did he say that? Here's one of the greatest guys. You're one of your top 10 players of all time. That's his statement. You know, and he's not the only one who said it.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Of course. And I actually don't, listen, my whole thing when it comes to you with leaving Kobe out of top 10, it has nothing to do with you not having the right to your own opinion. You have the right to your own opinion. My only thing is that you say things like, these are things that someone needs to have to be a top 10 player, and they're all things that Kobe has.
He checks
the list off more than someone else on your list. So like, that's the only time I get upset.
He's a copycat.
It's one thing if you say, "Hey, I don't like this guy."
He's a copycat.
Like Omar,
it's like
because
Jason Tatum will never be in my top 10.
He never will be in mine either. He's not half of Kobe.
Even if he gets better and improves and does everything.
Omar,
Jason Tatum wins 6 championships by the time it's all said and done.
He'll
probably. And if in the top 10 scores of all times, he won't make your top 10.
We'll see. I don't think he's going to get there.
I don't think he's getting there either.
Omar,
if he has the same stats as Kobe Bryant at the end of his career, he won't be in my top 10. Would he be in yours?
Yes.
If he finished with the same exact numbers?
5 titles and
same exact
stats.
No,
same numbers.
Are the defensive awards coming too? Like this is like
same numbers.
If he has
take out the defense.
But that's what I'm saying. He needs that.
No defensive.
He needs that. For me,
he needs something. If you have 5 championships, you have to have something else to add to that.
And
I agree.
Unless you're at 6 championships.
He's got
2 more MVPs and another Finals MVP.
And you got to ask yourself, who are you taking out of the top 10
Exactly.
to add him in?
Mike, the MVP, like Finals MVP, I respect a little more than MVPs.
I disagree with the Iguodala.
MVPs.
Went out the window for
look, Shaq said it best. How is it?
The universe on the line. I want Iguodala.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Shaq said it best. How is it that Shaq and Kobe each have 1 MVP, but Steve Nash has 2? The MVP award, sorry, to me it's a joke. No, I don't care for that. Finals MVP, I agree.
Okay.
Finals MVP, I agree. Like when you tell me, like,
But
hey,
you had Shaq and Kobe on that same team. Nash had nobody. I mean, he had other players, obviously.
no,
That's
was when they were separated.
That should have been Kobe's.
When Kobe carried that.
But to be fair, the season Kobe, and I'm not saying Kobe only should have got 1. That's not what I'm
Kobe
saying.
should have got it.
But the season he did get it, the season he did get it, he shouldn't have got that one.
But Kobe had multiple other seasons he could have got it.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing.
I would say you should have got it in 06, and then the one in, you should have.
I think you can do that for almost any player.
The year Shaq was hurt,
LeBron should have more. Jordan should have more. Shaq should have more. I think you can do that with anybody.
There was multiple seasons he could have.
But to me, that's
my whole thing.
with the top.
But there's always going to be a snub.
Yeah, well, the top 10 is you're putting somebody in, you got to ask them, okay, who are you taking out?
Which is why, for me, the defensive thing, like this is the whole Tim Duncan thing. Mike, you and I relate to Tim Duncan. Why is it people have him outside of the top 10?
Because they're crazy.
Boring.
Okay, well, he is boring.
That's
yes,
why.
he is boring, but he's
So, I mean, I
super
don't think he's
fundamental.
boring, but people
Probably
think
the best
the average
defensive
fan would say he's
player.
boring.
Probably the best defensive player we've ever seen.
Dennis Rodman.
Statistically, with everything.
Yeah, I still
He has
think
the
Rodman.
most all defensive awards, right? Yes, Dennis Rodman.
Robin, I think, has 4. I know Robin has what?
Robin's
4 DPOYs, right?
No, he's got 3.
He's got 3. Oh, Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace was
Right.
Right. And let me tell you, but somebody who had to be really good defensively, because he sucked on offense. Ben Wallace.
Yeah, he was
Dwight Howard.
defensive.
No, Dwight Howard was.
Dwight Howard was.
He wasn't offensively skilled.
until he hurt his
He was
back.
He
talented.
wasn't skilled,
He was talented.
but he was talented. He was physical.
Oh man, I got him there too.
I'm the one who said he wasn't skilled.
Mike, you're coming full circle on this podcast.
Hey,
Guys,
see, that's what Mike.
Mike, you're coming full circle.
Again, I'm the one who said he wasn't skilled, guys.
That
You can
beard
be,
grew from the last segment. It's false.
you can be good, guys. You can be good and not skilled. I don't think Shaq was the most skilled player in the NBA ever.
He
No,
wasn't.
he's the most dominant player.
Exactly. That's what Dwight Howard was. You guys, you can be talented and not skilled.
Like, see, for me, I'll say this.
That's what we agreed with. That's what we were saying about Team USA. We just think that
If you're talking about,
And I'm saying
I
the
think
Team
Derek
USA
White-
is still more skilled.
I think Derek White is a more skilled player than Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis.
if you're
he's more
talking
skilled,
about,
he's just not talented.
If you're talking about putting people in the top 10,
I would say he probably has more skill, but I would still say
That's
that
what I'm
they're both
saying.
skilled players.
And so if Derek White is like that, you think that there's not 5 guys like that on Serbia?
No, there's not 12.
But Derek White's the bottom end guy of the team. He's the 12th guy. You just said the 12th guy on Team USA isn't close to he's better than like the bottom 5 of Serbia. You were saying
I'm saying he's better than at least number 11.
I'll say this, in the top 10, the 2 people I think that you will have to make room for, I think when it's all said and done, will be Jokic and Giannis.
And I think Wemby.
Well, Wemby.
I think, well, yeah, I mean, like, Wemby's the next era. I'm saying, like, for our era, like, still.
I don't know, like, the whole thing is they're going to have to win titles to get in there.
Oh, I think Jokic will win 2 more. I think Giannis will.
You think he'll win 2 more?
Yeah, I think Jokic, I mean, what we're watching from him, he's this era's Tim Duncan.
But he's got to have the rest of the team around him.
I'm questioning whether he's going to be able to
I think they'll get.
They just picked up Westbrook to replace KCP, and as Zico famously said, when has that worked out?
They must, my take is that they must really like trust their player development with all the young.
Well, yes, they do have
Braun.
They
Braun
do
is Christian Brown. They got.
But they also
they got Peyton Watson, right?
They got Peyton Watson, but the thing is, they also have a shooter that I think they just signed. I can't remember his name. Who they're hoping will replace KCP.
Are they better than the $1 billion Celtics?
No, Celtics. I mean, Celtics can probably run it back. I mean, they probably retain.
You think they're getting 2 more?
I think they could.
I think the last season
you got 5 seasons before Wemby is dominating this league.
Yeah, but I mean, the question is San Antonio, are they actually going to like wise it up and put pieces around?
They're gonna tank this season.
I think Denver could beat the Celtics in the 7-game series.
I'm with you. 5 years before Wemby dominates, the state stays in San Antonio, and if Bagga brought up a valid point, are they going to be smart enough to put the right pieces around? Question is, you think Popovich is going to be there?
No, he's done.
I think it'll be Brad Stevens.
You think Brad Stevens will leave his shrine in Boston to go coach San Antonio with me?
I think when you have a generational player like that, you want a piece of them. There's only 2 or 3 coaches I could see actually like taking a swing at that. Spoelstra, maybe Steve Kerr.
I won't put Steve.
I would say maybe Ty Lue, and then I would say Brad Stevens. Or if you get one of the college coaches to come in, but I don't think there's anyone that really moves the needle.
What about JJ Redick?
No, he's coaching his little league team.
What about Missoula?
Now Missoula does. I mean,
because imagine you have that Boston team with Wemby instead of Porzingis.
I mean, that's pretty far down the line, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just threw out hypotheticals, right?
I mean,
Holiday's gone by then. Al Horford's gone by.
Pretty much be Tatum, Brown, and Wemby.
Yeah.
And probably Derek White.
Okay.
And Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably some others.
And you could fill in the rest of the roster.
Some of those guys, if they stay at the level they're at, they're going to get paid more. Pritchard's not going to stay there, they're not going to pay.
I got you.
But they're all under contract for another, 4 years? Yeah. That's why I think Boston will.
That's why we said in 5 years.
Yeah.
Think about it. Those guys, some of these guys we're talking about right now that have won championships, or some of them still haven't hit their prime.
Well, and also too, you got to factor in the Olympic carryover, because they always say the Olympic carryover it affects a couple players with making the deep runs, like Anthony Edwards had last year after the World Championships, and then it always affects players who like they'll either get hurt or get traded or something. Like so, that's what I'm saying. Like I think that like I said, I personally think that if it's not Boston, it's going to be Denver. I think Jokic is just that good, man. I mean, bro, the dude he cleans ponies and then he drops like a 30-point triple-double when like prime time, man.
I agree with you. I just think that the little by little, the same thing's gonna happen with the Celtics. The way the financial outlook works for the NBA, teams are gonna start being deconstructed. It just happened to the Lakers. Lakers are suffering because of it. It's gonna happen to the Celtics. It's now happening to Denver. Just watch KCP. That's the way they set it up. The only team, I told you guys this, the only team I saw that was doing it in a manner that might be able to sustain it was the Knicks. But the Knicks don't have a superstar on the team like Jokic. They're going to have a full roster of guys named What?
You keep sending me all these stats and superstar runs.
Well, he's playing like a superstar, and he's getting paid $25 million to do so. Like, name a guy making $25 million with that output. It's not.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
they
what
have
I'm
a
saying.
superstar.
Right, like most teams, they're going to pay 2 guys, like Boston just did. 2 guys, like Denver just did, and then they can't afford to pay the 5th guy, which KCP walked. Somebody's going to walk from Boston. It's going to happen too. So
I think it'll be Porzingis.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Porzingis too.
Not this
Because Horford's going to retire.
So where's a good home for Porzingis?
I mean, we'll see what kind of get to that.
Retirement, really?
He'll get back.
I mean, he's still got a little left, but he's not.
But that's what I'm saying. Where's a good home for him?
I can see him in like a Miami, like a Miami or maybe like in Indiana, or you know, I mean, he'll be a solid. He'll win another title somewhere if he goes to like the right situation, like in Milwaukee or Miami or something like that. Even
I can see him in Milwaukee replacing Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
It's a similar player. Brook Lopez walks because they can't afford to pay.
You said they're similar players.
What? Similar players?
Porzingis and Lopez is
Taller, stretch fives, let's be honest, which is the style.
Brook Lopez is a superstar, right? So.
I never said superstar. I said
Yes, you did.
star. I said
He
he's
said
a star.
He said star.
And he was a hell of a player at Stanford with his brother Robert. I'll tell you that.
Alright guys, so this was a good episode. I know we've gone for hours. I'm gonna try to cut this off. Yeah, I'm ready.
No, I'm listening.
Okay, I'm gonna cut this off here. Mike, you were whispering, like and subscribe. This is your moment to shine.
I yelled it with the mic.
It's always at the end of the show.
You're gonna
It's always
like and subscribe again. All cameras.
You want me to help out
Bagga,
with
what do
it
you
too?
think, bro?
We need your support. Like and subscribe to the show. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section. Find us all on LinkedIn. That's what we do. It's the international games. It's the international flavor. I got a finance bro face, but I'm ready to go global, man. Let's go.
Why do you sound like Ali G?
Huh?
Why do you sound like Ali G?
It's just how the way the world made me, mate.
You guys remember those skits?
No.
Where he interviewed the NBA
Those
players?
are epic.
Yeah. Zico.
Tell them all the places they can find our podcast.
You can find our podcast on YouTube. You can find our podcast on Apple Podcasts. And apparently LinkedIn too.
OnlyFans.
And that's what the cast
Yeah, find me under Bagga Boy 96. This is the upload for you.
This is why we have separate microphones. He's gonna mute your microphone.
Oh, that's unfortunate, man. I thought this was gold, baby. Gold.
But no, we appreciate whatever followers we have and continue to support us and repost, and let's keep growing.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
So.